Which one? RCR? Okay. Anytime. I'm in Greensboro. Greensboro. Right outside of Greensboro. Okay.
Okay. We've got our points leader in here with us right now. If I can have your attention. Kevin Harvick. He drives the number 29 Shell Pennzoil Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. And like I said, he's leading the points. He's been up there top of that leaderboard for several weeks. He's got 2 wins on the year. And I know he would like to tack on to that here these next 5 races before we get to the chase. Kevin, here at Watkins Glen, you've won before, and so just talk about your outlook heading into this race weekend.
Well, I really enjoy the road racing. Obviously, this is a fun weekend to kind of mix it up as far as what we do on a normal week-to-week basis. So, obviously, we put a lot of effort into road racing and feel like we do pretty good at it. And we've won here before, so hopefully we can keep ourselves in position and have all the cautions and strategy and all that stuff work your way and stay out of the wrecks and put yourself in position at the end, and should be a fun weekend.
Questions now for Kevin. We'll start right here with Dave Rodman. Where's our mic holders? Hello. They didn't go on strike, did they? Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead, Rodman.
Yeah, Kevin, Dave Rodman, NASCAR.com. Atlanta this weekend obviously would lose one of its race dates in 2011. It appears Kentucky's going to be the replacement. But, with your connection with Atlanta Motor Speedway, speak to what it means to lose one of those races, and if Kentucky's the replacement, what that means to you.
Well, I don't think you can. I think all tracks need to be held to a standard, whether it be safety, whether it be crowd attendance, whether it be whatever it is. The biggest boom we've ever seen in this sport came in 2001 when we went to new venues in Chicago, when we went to new venues in Kansas, and you had all this movement with the schedule, and you created all these new fans, and sometimes things become stale. And it's a constantly evolving sport, whether it's in the garage or out into the racetrack schedule or whatever it may be. And if a market is stale, we have to go somewhere where the grandstands are full. I mean, Iowa is a great example. You go there for a nationwide race, you go there for a truck race. The first time I went there for an East race, the grandstands were sold out. And you have to have that kind of excitement. This sport is too popular to not go to venues that are not sold out. If it's not sold out, you need to be held accountable as a racetrack, and that's, in my opinion, what's going to happen.
Who's next? Sean's over here. We can hustle over here and get him a mic.
Sean Barker with the leader. Being one of the top road racers, who do you see this weekend as being some of your big competition on this track?
I think there's a lot of guys that are really good road racers. Obviously, Stewart's got the record to back it up over the last several races, and Gordon will be good. Jimmy Johnson's done well the last couple races, and so I mean you have to look at the guys that have been most recently good, and it seems like good at Sonoma is a little bit different than what's good at Watkins Glen. It seems like you have another group of people that run well at this track than you do at Sears Point or Sonoma. So, you never know until you get going. But the guys who have won recently are the ones that you obviously point the finger at.
You keep your eye on them, see what they're doing during practice?
Not really. I just try to keep an eye on myself. That's a full-time chore. Especially here because there's so many things I can screw up that usually I do screw them up. So you gotta pay attention to your brake zone markers and where you let off and where you get back into gas and when you downshift. So there's just so much to do that for me, if I start thinking about anything what I do myself, I become confused very easily.
Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. I have 2 questions. First of all, You talk about the popularity of racetracks, and certainly your home track has had issues in the past. And you guys grew up in a hotbed of racing where you're located at in Southern California, and when you look at the kind of guys that have come out of there and the history of that area, what do you think has been the problem there?
Well, I think one of the problems is people don't want to sit in 110-degree weather and watch a race. That's the first problem, probably with the second date. But I mean, I don't necessarily know all of the answers or have all the answers or know all of the problems. But I think I think that you could probably make a list of things that could be changed to make it better. I think sometimes one race is going to be better than two races for a racetrack because you can put a good crowd in there. And when we first went there, we had good crowds, and I think so you just have to look at the differences of what's happened between then and now. And one of the things is sometimes people say, well, they're having two races this year, so I'm going to go to the second one. So instead of having that whole crowd at one race, you have them at two races. So sometimes more is not better for some venues.
Have you seen advertising for that race in Bakersfield?
Nope. Bakersfield's probably the biggest racing town, so when you talk about racetracks being held accountable, sometimes the people running them have to be held accountable as well.
And my other question is, KHI for next year, what does your lineup look like?
Right now, it's all just kind of up in the air. Obviously, I'll drive the nationwide car a fair amount and the truck a fair amount, and then everything from there is up in the air as far as who's going to drive where and what and when, and you can't really do a whole lot until you know where you're going to race. So we're kind of all just in a holding pattern as far as you can't even finish selling your sponsorship stuff until you know where you're going to race, and until we finish selling our sponsorship stuff, you can't decide who's going to drive. So that's just kind of where we are. We're kind of stuck until the schedules come out.